Job Interview Questionnaire for a Python full-stack developer, along with brief, but detailed answers to help you prepare. This will cover both the front-end and back-end aspects, along with tools and technologies used in full-stack development. What is Python? Python is a high-level, interpreted programming language known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. It supports multiple programming paradigms, including procedural, object-oriented, and functional programming. What are the features of Python? Simple and easy to learn, open source, interpreted, dynamically typed, extensive standard libraries, cross-platform compatibility, and supports object-oriented, imperative, and functional programming styles. Explain Python's memory management. Python uses automatic memory management, including reference counting and garbage collection. The memory is allocated for variables and objects, and Python's garbage collector periodically reclaims unused memory. What is PEP8? PEP8 is the Python enhancement proposal that outlines the style guide for writing Python code. It includes recommendations for naming conventions, indentation, and other coding practices to make the code more readable and consistent. What is a Python decorator? A decorator is a function that modifies the behavior of another function or class. It is often used to add functionality to functions without modifying their code directly. What are Python generators? Generators are functions that yield a sequence of values using the yield keyword. They allow for lazy evaluation, meaning values are generated on the fly without consuming memory for the entire sequence. What is the difference between deep copy and copy in Python? Copy creates a shallow copy of an object, meaning it only copies the references to the objects contained within it. Deep copy, on the other hand, recursively copies the object and all the objects referenced by it, ensuring that the original and copied objects are entirely independent. Explain the concept of a virtual environment in Python. A virtual environment is a self-contained directory that contains a Python installation and additional libraries. It allows you to manage dependencies for different projects independently without conflicts between them. What are some of the popular Python frameworks for back-end development? Popular frameworks include Django, Full Stack, Flask, Micro-Framework, Fast API, Pyramid, and Bottle. What is Django? Django is a high-level, open-source web framework written in Python. It follows the batteries included philosophy and provides tools and libraries for rapid web application development, including OIM, authentication, and routing. What is Flask? Flask is a lightweight, micro-web framework for Python that gives more flexibility, but requires you to manually set up things like the database and authentication. It is ideal for small applications or services. What are Django models? Django models represent the structure of your database tables. They define fields and behaviors of the data you're storing and act as the abstraction layer for database interactions. Explain Django's OIM. Django's Object Relational Mapping, OIM, allows developers to interact with the database using Python objects rather than writing raw SQL queries. It automatically translates Python code into database queries. What is RESTful API? REST, Representational State Transfer, is an architectural style for distributed applications. RESTful APIs are web services that use HTTP methods GET, POST, PUT, DELETE, and stateless communication to perform CRUD. What is Flask RESTful? Flask RESTful is an extension for Flask that simplifies the creation of RESTful APIs. It provides classes like resource to easily handle HTTP requests and responses. What is JWT? JWT, JSON Web Token, is an open standard for securely transmitting information as a JSON object between parties. It is often used for authentication, allowing stateless, token-based user sessions. What is the difference between GET and POST requests? GET requests retrieve data from the server, while POST requests send data to the server for processing. GET is idempotent, meaning repeated requests won't change the data, while POST typically modifies server-side data. What is SQL Alchemy? SQL Alchemy is a popular Python library for SQL database interaction. It provides a powerful ORM for querying databases, and it can also execute raw SQL queries for more complex operations. Explain the difference between inner join, left join, and right join. Inner join returns only matching rows from both tables. Left join returns all rows from the left table and matching rows from the right table, with null for non-matching rows. Right join does the opposite. What is Flask SQL Alchemy? Flask SQL Alchemy is an extension for Flask that adds support for SQL Alchemy ORM, making it easier to manage the database and interact with the data in a Flask application.